Naruto opened a pet shop in the ninja world. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 151. Qing knelt on one knee in front of the sandaime. Shisui's eyes were taken away. I into the route to look for them. I confirmed with my own eyes that they were in the hands of Danzo-sama. They were soon discovered. He wanted to silence me. It was a bit of a lie, but whether the sandaime believed it or not, it was a fact that Shisui's eyes were gone hunted by the root. Do you have evidence that what you said is true? Sharingan left a trace on the third Hokage with so many Uchiha? Why is Shisui's eyes missing? If you think about it carefully, you can figure it out from the third generation. Shisui had just finished saying that he could use the power of his eyes to change the minds of the Uchiha clan, but moments later his eyes were taken away and Shisui silently, no matter who is eavesdropping, having such ability is a threat to Konoha. Furthermore, if the Uchiha knew about this, they would probably take advantage of it to launch a direct war against Konoha. The sandaime rubbed his head in pain. Where is Shisui? There was no way to ask if he was okay. I hit him and he won't be found in a short time. Qing was still very confident in his ninjutsu, except for the pitcher plant to look for him. Of course, it was Konoha that let him down. The sandaime sighed, and this sigh seemed to make him age a few years. I want to get him out of the village before Shisui recovers. Who would have thought that one day the inside of Konoha would be more dangerous than the outside of the village? I will have someone go directly to pick up Shisui. They are carrying my token. Please cover for them when the time comes, okay? The third generation did not stop him. This was the best choice at the moment. That night, Qing came to the Uchiha clan leader's house alone. Sasuke had already gone to bed and Itachi hadn't come back yet. After exchanging pleasantries with Uchiha Mikado, he entered the reception room. After sitting down, Qing explained the purpose of his visit today without beating around the bush. Shisui is dead. This short sentence made Uchiha Fugaku freeze. For the Uchiha clan, Shisui is the main fighting force of this rebellion. His powerful eye technique alone can greatly increase their chances of winning, but now that things have calmed to this point, they can only continue according to the original plan. Bluntly, Konoha won't even suffer any casualties. Innocent children and women in Uchiha will be implicated. Sasuke and Mikado are both innocent, aren't they? These words made Uchiha Fugaku frown. The so-called strongest Uchiha was said to be so unbearable. Uchiha Fugaku's face turned cold. Did you come here just to say such ridiculous things? I'm just stating the facts. Chapter 152. Qing told the Uchiha clan leader the fate that would happen to the Uchiha clan. Qing recounted the detailed process from the cause to the end. Uchiha people, only a few knew of the existence of this stone tablet, not to mention that only the clan leader could see it. Then how did Qing know? And the absurd fate he talked about. When talking about the previous events, Uchiha Fugaku is completely unconvinced. But when it comes to this stone tablet, he feels a little shaken. The Uchiha clan has been forced into this situation because they were trapped many years ago. If you continue to wage war against Konoha, won't you fall into the trap of the villain behind the scenes? What position do you stand on to say this to me? Shisui and Itachi are my important friends. Mikado-san is also a good friend of sister-in-law Kushina. I am here in front of you as an Uchiha friend. If Minato-san were still alive, he would never have let the two parties fall into the current situation. Being alive is just a psychological comfort for me. If I don't find a way to treat them, what's the difference between being dead and dying? Qing moved to the side of the table, leaned forward, and pleaded in front of Uchiha Fugaku. Just think of it as for your family, please think about it carefully. The young ninja has shown his sincerity. Family is indeed Uchiha Fugaku's only weakness. The amount of information Qing mentioned was really too much, and he really needed to think about it carefully. Agreed, I will consider it, but even if I am persuaded by you, what then? I have mentioned before that I have no other choice, although he is the patriarch of the Uchiha clan, he is just the patriarch. The Uchiha family was a large family that founded Konoha together with the first Hokage, but their power and authority were stripped away bit by bit, and they were even driven to the edge of Konoha's current situation. But the main reason that made him decide to rebel was the contents on the stone tablet in the Uchiha Holy Land. If what Qing said was true and the stone tablet had been altered, then based on the current trend, They had undoubtedly fallen into a trap. And he had no idea who wanted to exterminate the Uchiha clan. Even if I agree, the nobles in the clan will not agree. If they didn't exist, old guys should enjoy their old age, right? At this moment, Uchiha Fugaku trembled all over. Even though the murderous intent was not directed at him, he felt a coldness from the abyss. Yes, how could he forget all these things for a moment because of the other person's harmless appearance? The young ninja in front of him had brushed shoulders with death countless times, young ninjas who got those missions and survived them. Besides, I also have a way to make Uchiha regain the respect they deserve. Chapter 153. The candlelight in the room flickered without wind, adding a bit of mystery and weirdness to the boy. The method the boy mentioned was totally inconsistent with the proud Uchiha, but it was quite pleasant to see someone you dislike being frustrated. If it really came to that, he would become the cunning Uchiha. When Qing was ready to leave, it was only a few hours before dawn. And Itachi hasn't come back yet. Before leaving, Uchiha Fugaku asked him to check on Itachi. I think if it were you, you would know where he is. Qing was indeed able to find out where Itachi would be. Okay. After Qing left, Uchiha Fugaku quietly opened the door. After looking at his sleeping wife and children for a long time, he entered the secret room. Everyone knows that he has opened the main Gekyo Sharingan, but no one knows what his eye technique. His kaleidoscope opened, and tears of blood flowed down the scarlet eyes as the Magatama began to rotate. He saw the Uchiha clan's land stained with the corpses and blood of his clan members, the corpse of his, and the corpses of his companions. The youngest son who collapsed and fainted from fright, and the eldest son who had always made him proud, who opened the kaleidoscope and stood in front of him. It seems that Itachi really has accepted the mission to exterminate the wife clan. Similarly, he discovered the mystery. Itachi alone and the support of a few Anbu were not enough to make the Uchiha completely defenseless. The strength of each member of the guard department is outstanding, but they have been dealt with in advance. Who is it? Uchiha Fugaku was searching frantically, and the last scene was frozen on a man wearing a strange mask. He wanted to continue tracking, but he saw that he had reached his limit unless he had no other choice. The backlash of his pupil technique caused him to fall to the ground with bleeding from all 7 orifices. Before he fainted, he had already made another decision in his mind. On the other side, Qing found Itachi kneeling on the top of the cliff. The kaleidoscope he opened because of Shisui was constantly spinning. He noticed it when Qing appeared, and Itachi didn't know how to face him, didn't know what his expression was now. Qing walked up to him and hugged him. It's okay, Itachi, it's okay. Wrapped in a reassuring voice and breath. It was like everything would be fine, just as Qing said. He is always like this, acting like he knows everything. Even now, it seems like he already knew that he would come here. Then, did he also know that Shisui-kun was dead? Did he know that Shisui-kun's eyes were with him? I'm sorry. Itachi felt a sore nose. I lost Shisui. Itachi was immersed in sorrow again. But Qing's words pulled him out of his sorrow. Shisui is not lost. Itachi raised his head to look at him, thinking he had heard wrongly, as if he was about to cry. This man really knew everything. Your expression really makes me want to bully you. Qing looked at the pair of main Gekyo Sharingan and saw that they matched the appearance in his memory, and he felt deeply distressed for Itachi. By the way, the Uchiha clan leader's main Gekyo was originally created in the TV series, but there was no mention of his specific abilities. So here he is simply given this heaven-defying eye technique. There are definitely bugs, but fan works are mainly for fun, and they should be as warm and cozy as possible for daily life. Please don't miss this detail, my dears. Chapter 154. Itachi said nothing, staring at Qing's face. Qing suppressed his itchy heart and wiped the blood off Itachi's face with his sleeve. I have found Shisui's other eye. Before returning it to Shisui, let's each keep one. I just came from your house and had a long talk with your father. He reached out and stroked Itachi's eyes. Itachi shuddered, realizing that he had done so many things alone during the time he was immersed in his emotions. The boy clenched his fists and secretly despised himself. He hadn't been immersed in it for long when he felt his hand being held. Come on, let's go dig up Shisui. Itachi got stuck. Dig? The place where Shisui is buried is actually not far from here. And where is Shisui at this time? Because I couldn't see and couldn't move, I didn't know what Qing did. The pain in my eyes that had been stinging every nerve was relieved. Similarly, after losing sight, the senses become sensitive, and the buzzing of mosquitoes in the ears is unbearable and impossible to drive away. I felt it falling on my face, and the discomfort continued to grow. Shisui twisted his facial muscles to try to drive it away. Then something fell from the tree and landed accurately on his cheek with a thud. Shisui, with his teeth bared and an expression that seemed to be suffering from facial cramps. There were more and more mosquitoes swarming around his face, and caterpillars were crawling on his face. Itachi. I was quite sad before I came here. Qing scratched his face guiltily. Sorry, I forgot to put the insect repellent on you. Help, help me. Shisui called for help weakly with a trembling voice. Maybe because he was bitten too hard, several Qing bent down slightly, leaned close to Itachi's ear and whispered to him, actually, I did it on purpose. It can be considered a small punishment for Shisui. A warm breath fanned against his ear, and Itachi calmly pinched the burning earlobe. Brother Shisui really deserves to be punished, if he weren't injured and has an eye disability. Not to mention digging it out, Itachi wanted to just grab his neck and pull it out. Perhaps sensing Itachi's resentment, Qing patted his shoulder and signaled him to calm down. You don't feel anything when digging a hole, but you have to pay attention to the strength when digging people out. Qing spoke while moving the shovel. Now I officially inform you, Uchiha Shisui, you are exiled. Shisui was silent for a few seconds. By whom? By me. Qing answered as if it was a matter of course. This made Shisui at a loss for words for a moment. I think I shouldn't be guilty of this. Oh, I don't want to know what you think, I want to know what I think. The overbearing remarks once again silenced Shisui. He really felt guilty for making Qing angry and causing him to be in this state now. At least tell me the reason. Shisui felt his limbs gradually exposed to the air and felt a little cold. Well, for various reasons, I told the Uchiha clan leader that you are dead. The best thing to do now is to let Shisui hide and recover. Didn't ask any further questions. He knew Qing would not harm him. What's more, since he lost his eyes, he can't play any role in the following matters, and may even be a hindrance. I understand. You guys, be careful. Chapter 155. Before Shisui lost consciousness, he was still wondering whether Qing had calmed down. When he regained consciousness, he was born in another strange place. It was damp and cold, and there were sounds like those made by various instruments. The wound on his body and eye seemed to have been rebandaged, and he looked refreshed. Oh my, are you awake? Was so recognizable that Shisui was startled and didn't speak rashly. If it was any other Uchiha, I would be interested in studying it. Orochimaru looked at Shisui's physical data. Even though he no longer had the Sharingan, his physique was still first class. After a long silence, Shisui asked, what deal did Qing make with you, Orochimaru-senpai? His body. The blood flowed out of Qing's body. It's not wrong to say it's body, but it's a bit ambiguous. Shisui struggled to get up and fell directly under the bed. Even if I die, I will never let Qing make such a deal. Well, it's too late. Orochimaru smiled, his eyes full of amusement, but unfortunately Shisui couldn't see it. Senior Orochimaru, can I come in? The black-haired boy at the door knocked on Orochimaru's laboratory door. Orochimaru pressed the door switch and let the person in. Excuse me, how is the person we brought back? Bai took 2 bowls of food and placed one on Orochimaru's table. When I got around to the test bench, the injured person was lying on the ground with a frustrated look on his face. Bai tilted his head. What's going on? He put down the things in his hand. Do you need help? He did not approach rashly, but stopped a few steps away. The stranger's approach made Shisui alert. He turned over and sat up with his back against the bed. Let me out. Bai was a little about what had happened just now. But the person was sent by Qing, so he still patiently said, no, Mr. Qi said that you can't leave until your injury is healed. Then I will die here. I will never let Qing make a deal with you. As soon as he finished speaking, he condensed the chakra in his palm to form a blade and attacked his heart. The frost condensed and Shisui was frozen in the ice, with only his head exposed. Orochimaru frowned, and when he found that his experiments were not affected by the low temperature, he ignored it and just said, don't mess up my place. Speaking of the deal Qing made with Orochimaru, Bai was also sad. Mr. Qi didn't sacrifice himself to save you just to see you understand yourself. You should calm down first. So I have to watch him use his body to buy my life? How can I stay calm? Body. Bai frowned slightly and looked at Senior Orochimaru, who had a half smile on his face. He suddenly understood why the person in front of him was so excited. Senior Orochimaru's bad taste. He complained softly before explaining, what we are trading is not the body, but Mr. Kai's blood. but only 10 milliliters every 3 months. Shisui was silent. 10 milliliters of blood. A small wound in a ninja mission would probably produce more than 10 milliliters of blood, or once every 3 months she also has to take care of the cubs sent by Qing, one after another. Orochimaru felt that he was at a disadvantage. Chapter 93 and 94 were rewritten to be Naruto and Kakashi's autobiography respectively. I was in a hurry to revise them, so they are a bit perfunctory. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 156. Shisui calmed down after Shiro's explanation. Seeing that the man's emotions had stabilized, Bai lifted the ninjutsu. Feeling guilty, he walked over and helped Shisui sit back on the bed. By the way, Mr. Chi asked me to tell you, I'm sorry for inconveniencing you to stay here for the time being. Hearing this, Shisui's heart softened like a puddle of water. This person has done so much for me. How could I feel wronged if he is just recuperating here? Shisui couldn't see, so he didn't know the envy in Shiro's eyes when he said this. Bai knew that Shisui was the close friend that Mr. Ike was thinking about, and he was from Konoha. Because of Qing, Bai also developed a yearning for Konoha. Just because that was the home of his beloved Mr. Chi. So, please don't do anything that will make Mr. Chi sad. Bai put down the table on the bed and placed Shisui's portion of food on the table. Do you need me to feed you? Shisui, thank you, but no thanks. He was just blind, not disabled. Shisui carefully felt the table, found the location of the bowl, picked up the chopsticks and began to eat just a rookie who had just learned ninjutsu. After becoming completely familiar with him, one day I suddenly suggested adding one more item to my daily practice. Qing, let's cover our eyes. Shisui remembered shuddering at the suggestion. You mean, to prevent any vision problems from happening? That's right. The one who understands me is Shisui. Qing was delighted that her thoughts were in sync with him. Our sight when we're on a mission one day. If someone loses their life due to lack of vision, it will be a big loss. So we have to get used to the darkness. Eat, bathe, walk, etc. in the dark. At that time, he just felt that Qing was thinking very long term, but it was not unreasonable. So I added this project into my daily practice with him. The loss of eyesight happened suddenly, but after a brief period of familiarity it won't affect my daily life. Perhaps I can improve my combat skills during this time here. In fact, for the Uchiha clan, there is no difference between losing eyes and losing life. He should have done so, but he just couldn't bear to leave Qing. Time goes back to the second day when Itachi opened the main Gekio. It was already early morning of the next day when Shisui was sent out of the village and the contact person came to take him away. The sky in the distance gradually brightened. House before leaving. When I got home, I found Naruto sleeping obediently on the bed in the room, and the dishes from last night had been washed and put in the cupboard. Naruto even wrapped his portion of dinner in plastic wrap and placed it on the table. Qing suddenly felt like his son had grown up. But he hoped that Naruto could be a little more willful towards him. Brother Minato, sister-in-law Kushina, Naruto is really sensible. Qing touched his chest and saw a small gem as red as blood through his clothes. If you look closely, you will find that it is embedded in the flesh. That's right, that was the sealing technique that Qing used to seal Minato and Kushina. In order to keep the seal going for a long time, Qing could only use his own blood. Chapter 157. When Itachi returned home, his family was still asleep. But there was a faint smell of blood in the air. Itachi was shocked and slowed down his pace to search. He opened the door of his parents' room and found his mother alone. Itachi followed the smell of blood to the basement, and the closer he got, the stronger the smell became. A horrified look on his face. Blood was flowing from all his orifices and his face was hideous, as if he had been through some kind of pain. There is no aura of other chakras here, and the Uchiha chakra is spread in every corner. Who is it? Itachi wondered who else might come in and out of here. He took out a handkerchief and wiped the blood off his father's face to make him look less hideous. In order not to disturb his mother, Itachi placed his father in the guest room. He used chakra to check the other person's physical condition. There were no injuries on his body, but he found that the chakra in his father's body was abnormally chaotic, as if he had experienced a chakra riot. Why? My father shouldn't be unable to control his chakra at his current strength. Did the other party use an illusion? But what exactly happened last night can only be known after my father wakes up. In order not to alert the enemy, Itachi did not call for a medical ninja. Too much had happened since yesterday and Itachi's head and eyes were starting to sting. He suddenly felt very tired. The small body bears too much? After Itachi settled his father down, he left a note for his mother and left home. Qing was also very tired, but he wanted to prepare a lunchbox for Naruto to take before he went to school. Just as he was standing in front of the stove wearing an apron, he was suddenly hugged around the waist from behind. Because the other person's breath was familiar, Qing did not dodge when he approached. Just a little surprised. The boy's cheek felt a little cold against his back, and one could imagine how fast he had rushed over. My face is frozen. What's wrong? I just sent you home and you come to see me again. Qing didn't look back and continued with what he was doing without stopping. Faced with the boy's long-lost coquettishness, he lowered his voice. Itachi didn't know why he was so dependent on this person, but when he was at home, the moment he settled his father down and felt tired, he wanted to see Qing. I really want to be with him. So here he is. Itachi knew that Qing would never reject him, he knew it since the first time they met. Tired. Itachi's voice was a little dull. Okay. Since you're tired, take a good rest today. Give yourself a day off. Don't think about anything today, don't do anything, just relax yourself, or do what you want to do most. Itachi followed Qing's words and was somewhat moved. Ever since he can remember, his father has been constantly pushing him to make progress and has high expectations of him. When I was young, I was disgusted by the scenes of war, the ugliness of human nature. Itachi never dared to stop. But today, can we relax a little? Just today. Itachi nodded. Chapter 158. Qing really has no resistance to Itachi. He could feel the boy's nose moving up and down on his back, which was a bit itchy. Alright Itachi baby, Naruto is awake. You continue to stay the way you are now, and soon Naruto will be able to recognize Itachi baby. Though I don't care. Because she's acting coquettishly, she's a baby, HMPH. Itachi snorted to show his dissatisfaction with the name. The smoke floated and Itachi's figure disappeared next. A little black kitten hooked Qing's trouser leg with its little claws, moved all the way up, and then shrank into his clothes on his chest. Just stay in there and don't come out. Qing was a little surprised and helpless. He opened his clothes and saw the little fur ball curled up in a ball, lying there like a roll. That expression seemed to be telling myself, this is what I want to do. Okay, he won't bother with a fragile baby today. Just as Qing said, hurried footsteps were heard from upstairs, getting closer and closer. Little Naruto soon appeared at the kitchen door. He had just woken up with his hair messy like a bird's nest. He stared blankly at Qing as if he was confirming something. Qing turned sideways and smiled soothingly. Good morning Mingbao, go wash your face quickly, breakfast will be ready, how many fried eggs do you want? Good morning. That happened yesterday was not a dream. Naruto woke up instantly and became energetic. Take 2. I'll be there soon. Qing cracked 2 eggs into the pan. Okay. And what about the weasel cat inside Qing's clothes? All he saw was a vast expansion of white, which made him afraid to look around. Fever, the Itachi's little paw touched something hot. That's not the heat from body temperature, it's just concentrated in that one place. He opened his eyes and saw the bright red, gem-like object near Qing's heart. This is the thing that emits heat. When he put his hand on it, he felt Qing tremble. All over the same principle as you don't feel anything when you touch your own body, but become extremely sensitive when someone else touches it. Qing's somewhat restrained voice came from above his head. Itachi clearly saw that it was embedded in the flesh and blood, and he opened his Sharingan. Then he carefully saw that the flesh and blood were connected to it, and the chakra was flowing there without stopping the pain. Itachi felt a little guilty, so he shrank back and stopped moving, lest he accidentally bumped into it again. After Qing packed the lunchbox for Naruto to take to school, he found that the cat Itachi and his arms really didn't move. He pulled open his collar and looked inside with some doubt. When I looked up, I saw a little kitten looking at that place with a very guilty expression. Obediently, Uncle, will you take me to school today? Naruto looked at Qing expectantly. Of course, I was late yesterday and almost missed it. Qing put the fried egg in front of Naruto and rubbed his head. Can you forgive me, Mingbao? I will never be angry with my uncle. I am super happy that my uncle is here. Naruto raised the corners of his mouth high, and his smile warmed Qing's heart like a little sun. Healed in such an instant. Qing couldn't help but hug Naruto and rub his face against him. How come our Mingbao is so sensible? If he grows up so quickly, little uncle will be very lonely. Naruto enjoyed this long-lost morning intimacy. The Itachi, who was crushed into a cat-like shape, had some difficulty breathing. Chapter 159. Seeing that the time was almost up, Naruto still hadn't finished eating his bread. Qing stuffed milk and bread into his hands and picked up Naruto with one hand. "We're almost late, eat on the way." He carried the small school bag, water bottle and lunchbox in one hand and took Naruto to school. Naruto stuffed the soft bread into his mouth in 2 or 3 bites. The stuffed mouth and bulging cheeks make it look like a little hamster, which is very cute. Qing couldn't help but smack Naruto on the face. He has never been stingy in expressing his affection for Naruto. When I turned the corner, I met Sasuke, who was walking alone not far ahead. "Ah, it's Sasuke." Hearing Naruto's voice, Sasuke turned sideways and looked back. His fair little face had a sour expression and he was obviously unhappy. "Sasuke, good morning." Naruto waved at Sasuke while holding a glass of milk. When Sasuke saw Naruto being hugged, his face became even more sour. After glaring at him, she wanted to pretend not to see it, but with Qing around, she had no choice but to stand there and wait. "Sasuke, what's wrong with you?" Naruto patted Qing's arm, indicating that he wanted to come down and walk. "Nothing." Sasuke felt a little aggrieved after Naruto's questioning. He pouted and bowed slightly to Qing. "Good morning, brother Qing." "Good morning, Sasuke. Why are you going to school alone today?" Qing said this while patting his chest as if inadvertently. "Mom said she had to take care of Dad today. He didn't even have a hot breakfast today, let alone lunch. Then I didn't see my brother after school yesterday." "I see, it's amazing that Sasuke can go to school alone." Qing rubbed Sasuke's head, looked at his somewhat empty school bag, and took out milk and some bread from Naruto's school bag for Sasuke. "Have you had breakfast? Remember to have lunch with Naruto today." Qing still gave Naruto a large lunchbox. He could guess that those children would definitely be thinking about Naruto. Sasuke, who was indeed hungry, took it with a red face. "Thank you." In fact, before he went out, his mother told him to buy some breakfast on the way, but he didn't buy it because he was in a bad mood. And knowing each other for so many years, Sasuke and Naruto no longer have that sense of strangeness and distance between them. I watched the two little ones walk into the school and saw familiar figures gathering towards us. Qing couldn't help but smile and left amid waves of burning gazes. "Let's go home first." After leaving the school for a distance, the weasel cat poked its head out. Qing has always been the focus of Konoha. Although he always smiles at everyone, that perfect smile always gives people a sense of distance. The news of his return began to spread around the school yesterday in his arms today. As soon as he came out of the school area, he was immediately surrounded as he passed through the block. There are girls and boys. The admiration they showed when they looked at Qing was so obvious that if they didn't still have a trace of rationality left in them, they would have thrown themselves into his arms. Qing, I actually don't mind being Naruto's aunt. Originally, we were just chatting about family matters and asked him how long he planned to stay in the village this time. But after someone said this, the atmosphere became heated. Itachi is unhappy, and the consequences are serious. Chapter 160. With the first beginning, everyone rushed over and clamored to be Naruto's aunt. Forget about the ladies, there are also men involved. When Qing lamented that the world was too crazy, the weasel nestled in Qing's chest became more and more irritated as it listened. Black Panther. Looks beautiful, mysterious and dangerous. When the Black Panther appeared with a roar, the people around it instantly stepped back and kept a distance. The people surrounding him were all ordinary villagers, and Qing was afraid that he might hurt someone without paying attention, so he was a little embarrassed to just push them away. Itachi's help did make Qing feel relieved. It bared its sharp teeth at the crowd, scaring them back several steps again. This distance made Black Panther look satisfied. He narrowed his eyes slightly and raised his chin proudly. Then, he shrunk and ran back into Qing's clothes under the gaze of everyone. Very good, Qing is worthy of his name. The spiritual beasts he raises are all these seemingly harmless but actually dangerous creatures. The cute little kitties are just an illusion. Someone wanted to complain to Qing that his spirit beast was scary. Qing didn't stay any longer and just waved goodbye and left. The boy was in a good mood, but this time he chose a road less traveled by ordinary people in order to get home earlier. Qing walked directly across the roof of someone else's house and quickly reached home. After entering the house, Itachi still showed no intention of coming out, so Qing had to reach into his clothes and fish it out himself. She looked him in the eye. Are you still angry? As for the reason why Itachi was angry, all Qing could think of was that he felt unhappy after being surrounded by a group of people just now. The kitten stared at Qing with its round eyes for a while, then its gaze fell on the turtle on his shoulder. He stuck out his tongue and kicked the turtle to the ground. The little turtle, who was still sleeping, woke up for a moment, but because he could still feel Qing's breath beside him, he did not open his eyes and continued to sleep with some guilt and put it on the cabinet. To be honest, the kitten's expression is really cute. There were no outsiders around at this time. Qing, who had no resistance to fur, pulled open the furry belly with both hands and buried his face in it. Suck. The sudden action left Itachi unable to react and he froze in place. When I came to my senses, my whole body was sucked, including my head, paws, belly. They were sucked and kissed all over, so happy. After coming to this world, I only sucked children and had no chance to suck furry things. Itachi. I feel unclean. Oh, right. Qing looked at Yun with a smile. Little cat, how about I help you wash the fragrant flowers? Just as Itachi was about to open his mouth to refuse, his mouth was blocked by a slender finger. You came here without washing up after returning home? Look, you played in the mud last night. How can you not take a shower? Right, that must be so dirty, and your whole body is full of bacteria. Itachi didn't feel that he was dirty. He even felt a chill on his back and had the urge to run away. However, Qing's next words made his mind go blank again. I haven't showered yet either, so we can join in. We can. Together. What to do together? What things together? Chapter 161. I was dazed and groggy until my body felt heavy and I felt, no. Itachi only came back to his senses when the whole cat was soaked in water. His whole body was stiff, and his head was turning like a clockwork puppet. The steam spread throughout the bathroom, making everything you saw seem a little hazy. I haven't taken a bath in a long time. A lazy and slightly hoarse voice sounded in my ears. Although she is in the voice-changing period, at the stage of transitioning from a teenager to an adult, she is surprisingly very charming. So comfortable. The sound of water and breathing is infinitely amplified in this space. Itachi felt like he was lacking oxygen. At this stage, it was too late for him to cancel the transformation. Head out of the basin, the boy closed his eyes and immersed himself in the water. His beautiful long golden hair floated on the water, making him look like the seductive siren in a fairy tale. Similarly, after taking off his clothes, Itachi's eyes hurt when he saw the scars on the boy's fair skin, some new and some old, intertwined, and some covering each other. There was no other thought in his mind except heartache and disgust for war. Yes, outsiders say Qing is so powerful, but they seem to have overlooked that he is still a teenager and has a flesh and blood body. This is going to hurt. But the part on the chest seemed to be specially protected. What on earth was that thing on Qing's chest that made him protect it so protectively? After soaking for a few minutes, Qing finally got out of the water. He leaned forward and reached over the kitten to get the shampoo behind him. I don't think I need to prepare pet-specific shampoo for you, right? Hearing the voice, Itachi raised his head blankly and looked at Qing in confusion. Qing rubbed the shampoo into foam in his slender hands and applied it to the black fur. The unfamiliar yet seemingly very skilled massage technique almost made Itachi collapse into a puddle. I haven't done it in a while. If you feel uncomfortable because you used too much force, remember to tell me. The slender fingers moved flexibly on the cat's body. The kitten squinted its eyes and purred unconsciously, obviously very satisfied. Suddenly, Itachi's hair exploded. The cat's eyes turned a strange red, and the magatama in the eyeballs was spinning. Qing saw disbelief in those eyes. He raised his hands somewhat awkwardly and asked Itachi to relax. Sorry, I couldn't help it for a moment. Qing swears, is this really just physical memory? The evil hand reached out to the cat's little bell, but it was too small to pinch, so it just touched it. The smoke dispersed, and the soaked black-haired boy sat on Qing, his face flushed. How could you? Don't be angry, forgive me, or I'll let you touch it back. Qing pushed the boy's wet black hair behind his ears. Itachi's eyes widened even more. Qing's behavior was simply hooliganism. The boy, who had never been infected before, had no idea how to deal with the current situation. The body seemed to still retain the feeling from just now and understands everything he should understand. Itachi's mouth opened and closed, but he couldn't utter a word. Qing also thought about what he had just said subconsciously and realized that bending the words was an act of hooliganism. Feeling that he had dirty Itachi's ears, Qing coaxed him more sincerely. But they seemed to ignore how ambiguous the two of them look now. Being honest is just that. Chapter 162. For a moment, the two people who realized this at the same time fell silent. When it was just a cat, I didn't feel anything. Now that a boy of this age is facing him openly, even Qing would feel shy. I was wearing clothes before I turned into a kitten, but now I am naked? Where are my clothes? Cold, it's almost time to get up. Itachi was quite embarrassed as he had never been so exposed in front of another person since he was able to take care of himself. I wanted to follow Qing's words, but I noticed that the tips of Qing's ears had turned red. Okay, the fire attributed chakra radiated into the water, and the water, which had been a little cold, became warm again. Soak for a while longer. Although the bathtub was large, it was still a little difficult to accommodate two half-grown teenagers. Itachi sat facing Qing with his legs bent. If he moved slightly, he would be able to touch Qing. I was ready to stand up, but was stunned by Itachi's words, brother's dignity. So Qing sat back in the water. The reheated water was a little hot. Do you want me to rub your back? Itachi, who had just received a full body spa, didn't think it was necessary, but he thought Qing might need it. I've already washed very clean, right? Let me help brother Qing in return. With her eyes narrowed and the corners of her mouth raised, it was as if she finally had a look that suited her current age. The visual and sensory contrast was so strong that Qing felt a little dazzled. When I came to my senses, I had already nodded and turned my back. Faced with a back with more scars, even though he had brought him up himself, Itachi, holding the towel, suddenly didn't know what to do. It's like tickling. Does it hurt? Itachi placed his palm on the deepest scar. The wound has healed for a long time. Qing replied softly, it was a long time ago, I have almost forgotten it. The aftermath of excessive blood loss is more of a loss of body temperature, and you can clearly feel yourself getting colder and colder. The sudden wet and soft touch on his back made Qing tremble all over. The black-haired boy who hadn't yet put his tongue back. The way the young man looked up at him with a look of heartache made Qing feel as if his brain was congested. Sensing something, Qing's phone rang loudly in the blink of an eye. Itachi was wrapped in a towel and thrown out of the bathroom. Itachi stood at the bathroom door with a somewhat innocent look. After knocking, I heard Qing's trembling and unquestionable words coming from the bathroom. The clothes are on the second floor, go put them on yourself. Itachi thought of something and went to the second floor in a good mood. And what about Qing in the bathroom? He was watching his little brother in distress. Young, healthy and sensitive body, everything is fine, except that abnormal XP. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 163. Qing sighed as he came out of the bathroom. He felt that this kind of thing was sometimes more difficult than the mission. Having already experienced adulthood once, he accepted the second puberty experience well. After all, what is unacceptable is the object of your imagination when dealing with this matter. Be mentally prepared and feel that Itachi is upstairs idea. The extra room is perfect for use as a guest room. Qing pushed open the door to his and Naruto's room and found the boy already lying on the bed. The soothing sound of his breathing told me that he was already asleep. Subconsciously, I walked over with light breathing and footsteps, and just stood by the bed and watched for a long time. The dark circles under the boy's eyes revealed his fatigue been complicated in his previous life. He felt sorry for and admired Uchiha Itachi, who was also Qing's favorite character in Naruto. His delicate emotions, his loyalty to the village and his love for his brother, and the fact that he felt freed from his sins until the moment of his death. At the moment Itachi fell, Qing's tears could not stop falling. Qing felt ashamed afterwards for having such empathy for the paper man. What about now? The former producer is standing in front of him in flesh and blood. She can cry, laugh, and show her vulnerable side. How could Qing let all that happen? Itachi. He called out softly. Itachi was actually very dormant and he woke up as soon as Qing approached. I didn't open my eyes, but subconsciously wanted to lie down for a while longer. So, he felt Qing's gaze on him and his touch on him. She could no longer help but open her eyes. When he met those complicated and distressed eyes, Itachi suddenly felt as if his blood froze. That look again. Who is Qing looking at through me? Sorry to wake you up, it's still early, let's sleep together for a while. Qing shook out a quilt and covered Itachi with it. Then she lay down beside him. It's most comfortable to lie in bed with a fresh body. Maybe it's because this bed is really comfortable, or maybe it's because the people around me make me feel at ease listening to the other's steady breathing. Itachi closed his eyes and fell asleep again with confusion. This time I slept deeply. How long had it been since he last took a nap? Itachi couldn't remember. It's nice to relax like this once in a while. I like this leisurely life. I like being with Qing. I like Qing really like. The Uchiha clan fell into a brief, leaderless chaos today. The Uchiha clan leader's family suddenly refused to see visitors because his wife said he was sick and it was inconvenient. Uchiha Shisui, the strongest main force, disappeared, and even the young clan leader Uchiha Itachi was nowhere to be found. I was supposed to have an important meeting today, but I can't go ahead with it right now. Elder, what should we do next? The reactionaries gathered at the elder's house to discuss. The older Uchiha scowled. He is the most prestigious person besides the patriarch, but they don't know what is happening right now. Without the strongest fighting force, they cannot act rashly. Wait? You can only wait. Chapter 164. Qing woke up around noon. Although I really want to continue sleeping, now that I have put my ninja work aside, it's time to adjust my daily routine. After all, no good person can sleep for half a month. The lack of sleep can only be made up bit by bit. Feeling another steady breathing sound coming from his ear, Qing turned his head. Looking at the boy's delicate face, it is pleasing to the eye. This idiom is probably tailor-made for Itachi. I got out of bed quietly, washed my face and went to the kitchen to prepare lunch according to Itachi's taste. Qing made sweet food. Qing, who was busy, raised his head and opened the window next to the stove. The white-haired ninja was squinting at him and smiling, raising his hand. Yo. Entrance, ha ha ha. Kakashi laughed and pretended to be stupid. I got lost on the road of ninja work. Fortunately, I was guided here by the smell of food when I passed by here. Kakashi said seriously, I didn't expect to meet you, Qing, here. Is this fate? No, you came here uninvited because you smelled the scent. Qing could feel Kakashi getting closer and closer to Uchiha Obito. He was clearly a genius who could have broken through to become a cage-level figure long ago, but he allowed himself to fall into depravity and neglected his training, thus standing still. Kakashi covered Qing's eyes. Don't look at me like that. The tone sounded like begging for mercy. He had long been able to ignore other people's gazes. Only the young man in front of me always seems to be able to see through me. Class is divided into different classes. Qing looked Kakashi up and down. His brows furrowed, obviously asking how he could skip work. Speaking of this, Kakashi sighed. It's over, they failed, so let them go back and repeat the grade. Like being extremely disappointed. Brother, you must be too strict. Thinking of Kakashi's assessment mechanism and the future zero pass rate, I couldn't help but smile and took a fish out of the refrigerator and put it in the oven. Kakashi's gloomy mood due to the poor performance of his students today was swept away. He tried to climb into the house through the window in a very rude manner. But Qing pushed him back. Because he was caught off guard, he fell backwards. Kakashi. Qing poked his head out and smiled. The door is not locked, remember to take off your shoes, brother Kakashi. Little, there was no way I could resist him. Now that the child is grown up, Kakashi rubbed the back of his head and walked around the gate to take off his shoes. I could faintly smell the aroma of sori. Kakashi felt like he could eat 2 big bowls of rice right now. Itachi was stunned when he woke up, and suddenly sat up, looking around in confusion. He didn't expect that he would sleep so deeply. The hour hand of the wall clock has pointed to one sweet fragrance. It was Qing's voice downstairs. Who was he talking to? Itachi stood at the kitchen door, and his eyes met with Kakashi, who was looking sideways at them. Long time no see, Kakashi-senpai. Looked like a younger brother wearing his brother's clothes. Chapter 165. Kakashi looked at him teasingly. I knew you guys were close, but you're so close that you wear the same clothes. He suddenly remembered that the latest chapter of the newly purchased Intimate Paradise had a special extra chapter, which talked about the friendship between childhood sweethearts. At first, it didn't seem like much of a feeling. But now seeing this scene, Kakashi suddenly seemed to understand the point. So I secretly decided to go back and take it out again and watch it 100 times. Qing stuffed the fried chicken nuggets into Kakashi's mouth. Senior, Itachi is still a child. Put away your useless brain that was checked for poison by the intimate paradise. It's so hot. Kakashi's mouth hurt from the burn, but the fried chicken was so crispy on the outside and tender on the inside that he was reluctant to spit it out. The fried poor chicken rolled around in Kakashi's mouth for a long time before being swallowed. Why is it sweet? Kakashi gave a thumbs up. With a skill, why would you open a pet store? You will definitely be very successful if you open a restaurant. It seems that everyone knows that Qing's goal is to open a pet shop. His strength is something most people cannot catch up with even if they work hard for their entire lives, but for such a genius, there is nothing that can be done if he does not have this ambition and borrow one. If all else fails, bring your own spirit animal to consume. Just consider it as support for the younger generation. Invisibly, Qing actually already has a large number of loyal customers. Qing raised his index finger and shook it left and right. No, 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 you, an adult without dreams, don't understand. Cooking is just a personal interest. Opening a pet shop has become my obsession in this life. World as Qing and let everyone remember Qing. Instead of Minato Namikaze's younger brother Qing. Otherwise, he always felt that he was living by occupying someone else's identity. Itachi looked at the loneliness that Qing unconsciously revealed, which made him inexplicably have the illusion that he would disappear at any time. Missions of Jinan, which include weeding, finding lost cats, or being a waiter. Itachi had also taken on this kind of task before. So helping Qing to attract customers was no problem at all. Itachi is so considerate. Qing smiled knowingly, his hands were greasy, and he hugged the boy with his arms. It's almost time to eat, can you please set the table for me? Yes. Itachi caught a glimpse of Kakashi who looked like he was watching a show. His ears turned red and he pretended to be calm and started to help with the work. Itachi took the dishes and chopsticks and placed them in the living room. Seeing how well behaved he was in front of Qing, Kakashi said with a sigh, children nowadays mature very early. Are you talking about Itachi? Hasn't he been like a little adult since he was young? Qing still had the last dish to finish. I mean, if you don't have that kind of idea, then don't provoke him. Kakashi moved closer to Qing and his eyes fell on the fried chicken next to him. Do I? Qing raised the corner of his senior brother. Kakashi has indeed become a dirty adult. Can't it be an ordinary brotherhood? Qing used the chopsticks in his other hand to hit the hand that wanted to steal food hard. The back of his hand was burning with pain, and Kakashi shook his hand. Anyway, just keep it in mind. Qing is a very gentle person, but it is because he is too gentle that he makes people have the wrong thoughts. We haven't grown up yet, have we? Dinner is ready, please help me serve it over. Yes, it was embarrassing for him, a freeloader, to do nothing, so it was his duty to serve the dishes. Chapter 166. For this meal, except for Kakashi's sori which was grilled with salt and the rice which was plain flavor, the other side dishes were all sweet. It's obvious that they were all designed to cater to Itachi's taste. Fortunately, Kakashi is not picky about food, and he was very happy to have his favorite sori creamy after eating and drinking. Kakashi, who was ready to run away, had a hand on his shoulder. We have just finished eating. Where are you going, brother Kakashi? Kakashi. Sure enough, there is no free lunch in this world. What are you talking about, Qing? I ate too much, so of course I went to the yard to digest it. Really? I thought brother was going to run away after eating. Qing smiled as if in the spring breeze. Xiaoqi, if there's anything you want me to do, just tell me. Kakashi's forehead was covered with cold sweat. The boy's smile was somewhat similar to that of his teacher, which always made him feel a chill down his spine. Kakashi sat upright, looking serious. As long as it doesn't touch the bottom line of ninja, I can do it. What are you talking about? Not knowing what Kakashi had in mind, Qing said helplessly, it's just that I have to go out for a while, and I'm afraid I won't be able to catch up with Naruto's school time, so I would like to trouble you to help me pick up Naruto and take him home. Kakashi was silent. That's it. What else? Qing turned his back and stuck out his tongue at Itachi. Because it's quite interesting to see Kakashi looking so frustrated. His playful look made him seem even more lively, and Itachi felt his heart begin to beat faster again. Kakashi confirmed the time with Qing and didn't stay any longer. After the outsider left, Itachi stuck to Qing again, and the atmosphere became even more sticky. Where are you going this afternoon? Can I follow? Sure. Qing looked at the remaining items in the refrigerator, wondering if he needed to buy anything else today. I plan to buy a piece of land to open a store today. Itachi asked, any conditions? Qing thought for a moment. It should be far away from the downtown and residential areas, but not too far to the suburbs. The size of the open-air bath should be enough to accommodate someone like Toad Boss. Although Konoha has a lot of land, it is not easy to meet all these conditions at the same time. This is also the reason why Qing has been slow to make up his mind. The ones you see from the agent can only meet one of the conditions. If there is no other way, he would like to find Grandpa Saratobi. After all, the most specific information about Konoha's land rights can be found in the Hokage building. Qing was also struggling over whether to reduce one of the conditions. Actually, it didn't matter in the suburbs. But considering that Naruto is still young, if he wants to come to find me, the journey is too far and he may easily encounter danger, right? At this time, Itachi suddenly said, I know a place that can meet the conditions you mentioned. Qing's eyes widened. Is this true? I was ready to give up. Really? Itachi nodded with a smile. The rent is cheap too. Do you know him? Rather than renting, Qing actually wanted to buy the house outright and live there steadily. It's the Uchiha family's land. If it's you, I think my father will agree. The only spacious land that meets the above conditions is the Uchiha family's territory. The Uchiha people have always been xenophobic, but if they were to do Qing a favor, they would not speak out openly even if they had any opinions. Not saying it in person means you have no opinion. Itachi thought this arrangement was perfect. Chapter 167. Qing was still hesitating. Although he had no prejudice against Uchiha, he was aware of their xenophobia. He still knew the weight contained in Itachi's light words. After all, how could things be so simple? And if he really rented the Uchiha land, perhaps those voices would not reach his ears because Itachi will take it for himself. Thank you, Itachi. I'll think about it again. He didn't want to add pressure to Itachi. The young boy has already shouldered too many responsibilities on his small body, and if this matter requires Itachi to pay any conditions in exchange, he would rather not do it. But Qing insisted on this one thing. Not being completely rejected was already a good outcome that Itachi had predicted. He said, I'm going to go somewhere else this afternoon too, so why not stop by and take a look? Maybe he'll make up his mind right away after seeing it. Itachi was still very confident about the place he mentioned. Having said this, Qing did not refuse anymore. After all, it's just a look. It doesn't mean it's certain, right? After getting ready, the two set off. Before setting off, Itachi turned into a crow and stood on Qing's shoulder. Qing felt a little regretful. Why not a kitten? The only answer he got was the little crow's face turning away. Before he prepares himself mentally, Itachi will never use the transformation jutsu to turn into a cat again. Absolutely. Well, I find little crows are cute, too. He stretched out his index finger and touched the tip of the beak. The little crow opened its wings and buried its face in them. The little crow led the way, and Qing first went to inspect the land he mentioned. Although it was within the Uchiha territory, it was a street away from where they lived. Away from the noisy market, but not in the suburbs. The space is large enough and the environment is beautiful. It's like a dream place. If he hadn't still had a bit of rationality left, Qing would have wanted to just make up his mind. Seeing a smile in the little crow's round eyes, Qing coughed and said, let's go look somewhere else. The first thing you see is often the best, and Qing was never satisfied with the places he spent most of the day looking at. Either it's too far, too small, or not ventilated enough. In short, I'm not satisfied with any of it until trap. Otherwise, why would Itachi insist on letting him take a look first? It's definitely intentional. The news that Kakashi sent the Jinan, who just graduated from the ninja school, back to repeat a year has already spread. But every teacher has his own set of principles, not to mention the special Jonin Hatake Kakashi, who is known as a genius. Kakashi's excellence is obvious to all, and the Jinan who are sent back by him will definitely have complaints. But other ninjas will just think that the students are not good enough. So, when today's hot topic figure Kakashi stood at the school gate as if waiting for someone, it attracted heated discussions from people around him. Kakashi was leaning against the wall, reading an unknown book wrapped in a book cover intently. Naruto had only met Kakashi a few times and was not familiar with him, but Naruto knew that his uncle called him senior brother. Senior brother. Kakashi raised his head and looked at Naruto with somewhat decadent eyes. What kind of address is this? I mean, why is it uncle? I'm not even 20 years old. Because my uncle calls you senior brother, so you're senior brother uncle. Kakashi. That makes sense, but it's weird. You can call me teacher. Chapter 168. Kakashi felt that he was not yet old enough to be his uncle, but if he called him brother, he would feel uncomfortable as he would be a generation shorter than Qing for no reason. And considering the age difference between him and Naruto, it's right for him to call me uncle, so I'd better call him teacher, or Kakashi-sensei is fine. Naruto nodded, okay. Then who are you waiting for, Kaka-sensei? Kaka, well, forget it. I'll wait for you. Kakashi put away the novel in his hand and patted Naruto's head. Your uncle has something to do today, please let me pick you up. Where is the evidence? Naruto looked serious and alert. My uncle said that Naruto would not just go with anyone, even if they were someone he knew. Kakashi lowered his eyes, looking very troubled, ahem. With despair, sweet potato, I am potato. Wrong. Naruto pouted and made an XX sign, sweet potato, sweet potato, I am a potato, potato. Potato, I'm sweet potato, the code matches, I believe you. Naruto grinned and consciously put his little hand into Kakashi's hand, then let's go home, Kakashi. The palm of my hand can feel the child's unique body temperature and softness. When I saw him before, he looked skinny and malnourished. When I see anyone, I subconsciously feel scared and show a timid expression. Now that he has been well cared for and watered with love, he has not only grown flesh, but his previous inferiority complex has also disappeared. The rumors in the village gradually decreased. Although some people still resisted Uzumaki Naruto, most of them had long accepted his existence. Even if I don't like something, I rarely say it in front of him himself. He opened a path full of flowers and plants for another child. I have to say, it's really enviable. But if the teacher and his wife were still alive, thinking of his deceased teacher, Kakashi's eyes dimmed, but the golden color walking beside him dazzled his eyes. Qing's hair color is also blonde, but it's lighter than his teacher's and Naruto's. Teacher. Kaka, are you listening to me? Kakashi came back to his senses from his thoughts and said apologetically, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What did you just say? I mean, what is Uncle Kaka-sensei busy with today? Does he come home tonight? Naruto knew that his uncle was very busy, but he would feel lonely when he thought that he would not be able to see his uncle for a long time when he was busy. Kakashi is not very good at comforting children. Well, I'm not sure, but I think Qing will be home tonight. Maybe he has already prepared dinner for you at home. Really? The lunchbox my uncle made for me today has rice balls in the shape of kittens, which are super cute. Also, today at school. Once he started talking, he couldn't stop. There were no logical words entering Kakashi's ears. Perhaps 6 years old was supposed to be so innocent. This was the first time Kakashi clearly felt that the war had briefly subsided. Konoha's new blood can study and grow safely in school. There is no need to rush to graduate or grow up and devote yourself to the mission. Adult ninjas can also take a break and rest. Kakashi probably understood Qing's intention of asking him to pick up Naruto for him. There is indeed a trace of healing somewhere in my heart. Chapter 169. The sun is about to set. Qing bought a bunch of things enough to fill the refrigerator and sent Itachi back. In front of the gate of the Uchiha gathering place, for the first time, Itachi felt that the gate of the clan's territory was so annoying and wanted to blow it down. Today was over in a flash. It was so beautiful that it seemed like a dream. Itachi didn't want to go back. Qing rubbed his head. Don't let your family worry too much. Looking at the boy's puffed up face, he suppressed his excitement and continued, you should also tell your father about renting the land. Itachi then raised his head and looked at Qing. Have you decided? Yes, I'll leave this matter to you, Itachi. There's no other way. After seeing the dream love, everything else is completely shabby. Well, leave it to me. Itachi raised the corners of his mouth and smiled slightly. Thump, thump. Heartbeat, I'll go back first. Naruto should be home by now. Qing teleported away. He walked quickly and didn't notice the smile of success in Itachi's eyes behind him. Standing on a tree in the distance, Qing covered his face and squatted on the branch. Really? He finally understood the meaning of the phrase, his every smile and frown moves my heart. How come you're still like a young boy at your age? Qing complained to himself. After adjusting my mindset, I quickened my pace to get home. As soon as Itachi stepped into the Uchiha clan, the news reached the ears of those people. The person who had been waiting anxiously for a whole day blocked Itachi's door. Is there anything I can do for you, elders? Itachi looked at them indifferently, his eyes, feeling displeased with Itachi's attitude. Itachi felt even more disgusted when he looked at the guys in front of him who said they cared but were actually just curious. Then he dropped 2 pieces of bombshell news. Shisui confirmed it. My father was attacked by an unknown person and was seriously injured and has been in a coma ever since. If the elders have anything to ask my father, please wait until he wakes up. Itachi walked straight into the house, past the old people who were standing still. Sasuke had been feeling uneasy about the appearance of this group of people, so he hid behind the door and quietly watched the situation outside. All the anxiety disappeared when I saw Itachi coming back. Brother. As soon as Itachi entered the house, Sasuke rushed towards him and hugged him. Where have you been? With red eyes, he complained. Those old men blocked the way there and refused to let my mother and I leave after I came back. I'm sorry, Sasuke. Brother will take care of it, don't be afraid. Itachi stroked his brother's back and comforted him. Where's Mom? Mom is making dinner. Sasuke sniffed. I'll keep you company later, Sasuke. Brother, go check on father first. Okay. Sasuke took Itachi's hand and left. After he walked into the room, look at his eldest son, let them wait a few more days. Pay attention to Sasuke during these days. Everything else remains the same. Got it. Itachi is still serving in Konoha's Anbu. With Shisui away, his responsibilities naturally fell on him. After the room fell into a long silence, Uchiha Fugaku's eyes fell on his son's still slightly childish face. Suddenly, it overlapped with the sad face that he saw last night. Itachi, are you happy on days like this? Itachi was stunned for a moment and then his expression became complicated. Father, I am no longer at the age where I need your love and care. Maybe Sasuke needs it. Uchiha Fugaku closed his eyes and said, get out. Yes. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 170. Go out. Yes, father. He responded with his mouth, but Itachi still sat there without moving. Uchiha Fugaku frowned. Anything else? I want that empty space next door. The vacant land next door refers to the one that Qing likes. Although it belongs to the Uchiha area, the current living area is sufficient and there is no plan for expansion. Maybe a new training ground will be built later. Want to do with it? He asked. Itachi said bluntly, rent it to Qing to open a shop. Uchiha Fugaku, the Uchiha are not so poor that they have to rent out their land. Well, so I'm going to lend it to him directly. Itachi's tone didn't sound like he was seeking his father's permission. It would be more appropriate to say that he was notifying him. I have already promised to go out, so I'll have to trouble my father with the follow-up matters. Itachi raised the corner of his mouth slightly. Uchiha Fugaku closed his eyes again. Get out. Yes, father. There will probably be a lot of things happening next. Father, you should take a good rest now. This time Itachi got up and left. And what about Uchiha Fugaku, who is still lying there? For the first time, I felt that my eldest son, whom I had always been proud of, was such a terrible existence. The arm is bent outward so obviously. If he inherits the title of clan leader in the future, will Qing be able to send the entire Uchiha clan away if he wants to one day? Uchiha Fugaku imagined that scene and what his son had just done. You never mind, it's really possible. For the first time, the Uchiha clan leader thought of changing his heir. All this is to prevent Uchiha from changing his surname to Chi. However, not long after Itachi went out, he turned back on Uchiha Fugaku's forehead were throbbing. Since father has agreed, let's sign the land lease contract first. Itachi lifted a corner of the quilt and put the ink pad to his father's thumb. In fact, most of the time, contracts are signed using ninjutsu, but considering that his father is currently unwell, Itachi was considerate enough to change the method. After grabbing his father's hand and stamping his finger on the signature, Itachi put his hand back. Uchiha Fugaku, who was awake but still unable to move, change. The air must be changed. Early the next morning, before going to the Hokage building for duty, Itachi brought the contract to Qing. Qing was a little surprised at how fast Itachi was. Your father is awake? How did you convince him? In response, Itachi smiled and said, Father trusts you very much and has no objection. In the contract has been established, Proving that this contract is authentic and valid, Qing was also very happy to think that things could be settled so quickly. One day I will pay him a formal visit to thank him. Itachi's head and said, "Wait for me." Qing took out a frozen chocolate from the refrigerator. Itachi's eyes lit up when he smelled a familiar scent. Qing wrapped it in oil paper and handed it to Itachi. "Good luck with your work and be safe." Yet. Chapter 171. With the title deed in hand, the subsequent series of procedures will be much simpler. Qing had obtained personal approval from the Hokage for the store's application several years ago. Just talk to him once before you start. But the third Hokage was somewhat surprised when he learned that the location was chosen in Uchiha's territory. However, before starting construction, we still need to negotiate with the Uchiha. There is such a department within the Uchiha clan, but it only provides internal services. So when Qing came to the door with the land deed, he was stunned. Looking at it from left to right, there is no element of forgery, but isn't the patriarch seriously ill? Who signed this deed? No construction can begin without personal confirmation from the clan leader. Throughout history, there has never been an example of the Uchiha family's land being rented out, but he didn't dare after all. The young man sitting in front of him is not ordinary, and his strength is not easy to deal with. Although the Uchiha family is not afraid of trouble, they are now in a special situation. If this not-so-small matter is magnified, there will only be losses and no benefits. The situation remained deadlocked for a moment. Seeing that the other party was also in a dilemma, Qing's main purpose was to negotiate in a friendly manner, so he decided to take a step back. "I will start the construction the day after tomorrow. How to solve it before then is your business. This is not something I can decide, eh?" He got stuck in the middle of the sentence. The boy had a smile on his face, chakra leaking out slightly. For a moment, the Uchiha present felt as if their throats were strangled, and the smell of blood was overwhelming. In an instant, it was as if I was dragged into purgatory and surrounded by corpses. "Excuse me." Left, Cao. This was the first time that the usually proud Uchiha was treated like this, and the other party was still a minor. But they had to admit that the scene just now really made them feel palpitations and tremble when they recalled it. What kind of strength is that? The pressure of chakra alone can bring them such pressure. Even though they are not the main combat force, their strength has at least reached the level of a Jonin. Once again, they clearly felt a gap between them and the geniuses, and what Konoha lacked the least was geniuses. This moment, several Uchiha began to waver in their decision to betray Konoha. "Minister, what should we do? Their department is just a sinecure because it is internally facing, and there is not much actual work going on. This incident suddenly happened, and the young department head had a headache. What's wrong? The title deed has come into effect. What else can I do? I have to go through the normal procedures. What should I say if someone asks me about this? Does it have to do with us? The clan leader has already approved it, so the pressure won't be on us." He had long disliked that group of old men and was happy to see someone causing trouble for them. The situation has been ambiguous recently. The clan leader is seriously ill and no one knows exactly what is going on. The old men are very anxious. The fierce fighting faction's dissatisfaction with the clan leader has reached its peak in the past 2 days. In front of a door, stuffed a letter through the crack in the door, and left in a good mood. It might take other people at least 10 days or half a month to build a house, but it's different for him. He knew a bug that could allow a 3-bedroom, 1 living room house to be built in just 1 minute. Chapter 172. What Qing did to Uchiha spread within a short time. The news quickly spread to the elders. The old men all had gloomy faces, not understanding why the clan leader wanted to rent the Uchiha land to outsiders. Everyone knows that Qing is from the Hokage faction. Anyone with a discerning eye could see that the third Hokage wanted to train him, and that his background was related to the fourth Hokage. And why haven't you mentioned it to them? I am simply taking them less and less seriously. Let's go to the clan leader's house to visit him. The oldest one tapped his cane and said, "No matter what, we must see Fugaku today." He covered his aching heart and walked towards Uchiha Fugaku's house surrounded by other people. But I was still turned away my ruinous today. Uchiha Mikado's eyes were red, and the dark blue eyes and the bloodless face proved that she had not been doing well recently. Uchiha Mikado alone could not stop them, but the surrounding tribesmen had already noticed it because of the frequent care of the elders. Therefore, today, whenever there was any sign of trouble, I would prick up my ears and pay attention to the situation in the patriarch's family. Although the surroundings were still quiet, They could clearly feel the unsettled gaze from the darkness falling on them. They couldn't face embarrassing a woman in front of so many people. In the end, he had no choice but to grit his teeth and turn away. Send someone to the school and wait. Since we can't get in here, let's change the target. The ninja school is the Hokage's territory, but as long as Sasuke leaves the school, he can always wait until he is alone. The feeling that everything had gone off track overnight made the elderly Uchiha feel uneasy and anxious. I was forced to attack the cubs. But things won't go as they wish. Qing could probably guess why the Uchiha clan leader was hiding from those elders. For some reason, maybe he has changed his mind, but Qing doesn't think that he has succeeded by just persuading him once. And he was just playing dead at this moment to buy time for thinking of the next countermeasures. Since these people couldn't find their clan leader and couldn't do anything to Itachi, their target would naturally fall on Sasuke. Itachi is not an idle person and cannot pay attention to Sasuke's situation all the time at the moment. Only Qing can gain Itachi's trust and reassurance, so this important task falls on Qing. The school's training ground. Sasuke, my uncle asked you to go home with me today. Naruto threw shuriken at the wooden stake. Why? The bullseye. Iruka originally wanted them to pay more attention during the test, but seeing the perfect scores, he could only shut up. Sasuke and Naruto got full marks. Next group. Naruto put his hands behind his head. Uncle didn't say, but he said he would cook your favorite dishes. Sasuke put his hands in his pockets and said coolly, no, I want to go home. The atmosphere at home has been very bad these past 2 days, and my brother may not be able to come back today. He wants to go home to be with his mother. Under everyone's astonished gaze, the two returned to the team while chatting. Just kidding, they looked like they just threw them randomly, or 3 at the same time. And they all hit the bullseye and got full marks. Iruka looked at the report card with a complicated expression. They were not the only 2 who got full marks. This put him under a lot of pressure, and he always felt that his teaching could not help these children improve. Chapter 173. Whether it is physical skills, ninjutsu, or theoretical knowledge, Naruto and Sasuke are tied for first place. Ranked after them are the children they play with on weekdays. Even though his mischief sometimes made Iruka go berserk, that was all. Being naughty was the nature of a child of this age. The last class before school was over was Iruka's. Before Naruto was about to leave, Iruka called out to him. Naruto held Sasuke's hand tightly to prevent him from running away. What's the matter, Iruka-sensei? That is Mr. Chi coming to pick you up today? Although Iruka knew the way Qing and Naruto addressed each other, he still couldn't say your uncle when facing Qing, who is younger than him. Uncle didn't say anything today. Let me go, idiot. Sasuke shook his hands up and down as hard as he could, but Naruto's hands were like sticky plaster and he couldn't get rid of them. Iruka-sensei, is there anything you want to talk to your uncle about? I can help you convey it. Naruto's grip tightened. The female students from other classes who were passing by couldn't help but look at them holding hands for a few more times and then whispered to their friends around them. Naruto seemed not to notice and was still smiling, but Sasuke obviously noticed other people's gazes and discussions and his ears blushed with embarrassment. Seeing that he couldn't get rid of it, he simply gave up and turned his back in advance. It's okay. Goodbye, teacher Iruka. Naruto's passionate, pure and clean smile made Iruka a little dazed again. Before taking over this class, Iruka did a lot of psychological preparation. He wants to be a good teacher and treat every child equally. But the hatred in his heart had not yet been let go, and he was afraid that he would subconsciously be prejudiced against Uzumaki Naruto. But until this moment today, Iruka felt relieved. Naruto and Kyuubi are different. Moreover, his parents sacrificed their lives to protect the village. They are heroes. Naruto is innocent, isn't he? The most important thing is that he was taught by his most admired predecessor. He has good grades, and although he can be naughty sometimes, he is always very polite in front of teachers and elders. The top genius in the grade is a very outstanding child, a child that makes him, as a teacher, proud. Iruka felt as if the breath that had been blocked for a long time had finally been cleared, and he felt relaxed all over. Come on, Iruka. Iruka encouraged himself quietly. Sasuke was probably paralyzed, and he was dragged along the way with no expression on his face. Qing saw the 2 cubs holding hands from a distance. The scene made him gasp. He quickly took out a camera from his bag and started clicking until the 2 people stood in front of him. Qing pointed the camera at their faces. What is 1 + 1? 2. Naruto cooperated by showing a smile and making a scissor hand gesture. Sasuke had a sullen face, and the two of them formed a sharp contrast, but also very harmonious. Upon learning that his embarrassing appearance was captured on camera, Sasuke could only stare at the other person involved. If the Uchiha's reputation is damaged all because of this guy. Chapter 174. Qing is already here, and Sasuke can't find a chance to run away. He always had a bad feeling. After knowing each other for such a long time, I have a certain understanding of Naruto. If Qing hadn't said something, Naruto would never have insisted on taking me home, as if he was afraid that I would run away. Maybe brother Qing knows something? Sasuke raised his head and looked at Qing, who was holding his hand. Although they had not spent a lot of time together, Qing was one of the few people Sasuke trusted. Compared to Qing and Naruto, whose voices had never been heard, Sasuke seemed too quiet. Qing winked at Naruto, and Naruto immediately understood what Qing wanted to do. He jumped onto Qing's back very consciously, and when Sasuke came to his senses, he was already in his arms. Sasuke. His eyes met Naruto's. He put his finger in front of his mouth as a gesture of silence, and then he fell silent. The two children were taken away by Qing and disappeared from the spot in an instant. In fact, they were hiding in a tree not far away, and Qing led them to conceal their breath. Qing motioned for Sasuke to look at where they had just been standing. There won't be many ninjas standing there. And he was wearing the Uchiha symbol. I lost Sasuke. I guess we've been discovered a long time ago. Damn it, let's go back and report first. Sasuke trembled all over at the conversation among his fellow tribesmen. Their target was him, and why? Looking at Sasuke's pale face, Qing rubbed his back reluctantly. I'll tell you when we get home. Itachi originally wanted to hide this matter from Sasuke. He hoped that Sasuke could grow up without worries. Qing could understand his feelings, as he felt the same way when he first faced Naruto, but later, because of Naruto's anxiety and wild thoughts, Qing changed his mind. Sometimes, appropriately revealing some adult things can also help with growth. We are all family, and Sasuke has the right to know. He was feeling nervous along the way, and had already imagined the scene of his father's funeral in his mind he first came here. Qing immediately noticed Sasuke's condition, and after a moment of hesitation, he squatted in front of him. Don't worry, no matter what happens, your brother and I will take care of it. Qing thought he was worried about things at home. After calming Sasuke down, Qing made him a cup of hot milk and then thought about how to tell Sasuke about this matter. Sasuke sniffed. It's okay, brother Qing, you can just tell me directly, is my father dying? Those elders in the clan want to seize the position of clan leader, right? That's why you want to capture me and threaten my brother to give up his inheritance rights. Sasuke lowered his head, looking depressed. Qing. What caused Sasuke to have such a misunderstanding? It turns out Sasuke didn't know that Uchiha Fugaku was pretending to be sick. Seeing that brother Qing didn't say anything and was looking at him with a complicated expression, Sasuke felt that he had guessed correctly. He took a deep breath and said, Brother Qing, can you take me home to see my father for the last time? Sasuke knew he would be caught if he was alone. In order not to cause trouble to his brother, he could only ask Qing for help. Qing looked at Sasuke with a puzzled look. Probably not. Did Uchiha Fugaku know that his youngest son thought he was dead? Although, why do I feel like laughing? Chapter 175. As a reliable adult, Qing would hold back his laughter no matter how much he wanted to laugh at this moment. In just such a short period of time, Sasuke's mind went through a series of fantasies. When Qing was about to speak, he saw him preparing to kowtow towards the yard, very strict with me and always compares me with my brother. Since I can't see him for the last time, at least I will kowtow to him now. Qing's mouth twitched, but fortunately he stopped himself. Otherwise, if Uchiha Fugaku knew that his youngest son was kowtowing to him here, he might chase him and beat him up without caring about the Uchiha's reputation. Qing didn't delay any further and got straight to the point. Your father is fine, he's just pretending to be sick, eh? Big question mark appeared on Sasuke's forehead. Perhaps because he couldn't control the ups and downs for a moment, a bubble of snot came out of his nostrils. She was so naughty that she broke it in front of Qing. Sasuke was stunned. The other side, raised his head suddenly and saw Sasuke passing by him. Question mark? Enemy attack. Qing covered the corner of his mouth, walked over and patted Naruto's head. It's okay, I'll go upstairs to see Sasuke. Naruto has always been well behaved in front of Qing. He nodded and said, "Okay," with a big smile. Qing couldn't help but kiss Naruto's cheek. "If you don't understand, wait for your uncle to come down and teach you." Naruto's eyes flickered and he nodded even harder. In fact, Qing was thinking about whether to let Sasuke be alone and quiet. But thinking of his outrageous imagination just now, Qing was afraid that he would imagine something that would lead to his social demise if he were alone. "Sasuke, can I come in?" Qing stood at the door of Sasuke's room. Sasuke has his own room here. There was a muffled thud in the room, which seemed to be the sound of Sasuke falling. After a few moments of silence, the door was finally opened a crack. "Do you really have to come in?" "Yes, after all, I just gave the beginning," Qing insisted. After struggling for a while between social death and knowing the truth, Sasuke chose the latter. The door opened slightly and the person was led into the room. And just as Sasuke's room was closed, a sneaky figure appeared at the stairs. Little Naruto, who had just promised to do his homework downstairs, is now leaning against the door with a cup in his hand. I slowed down my breathing, afraid of missing any details. Qing certainly knew the little guy outside the door, but he liked Naruto more because he was a little bit naughty. Sasuke is not like Itachi. Itachi showed his talent since he was a child and has been brought up by his father since he was old enough to understand. Attended many meetings as the heir. Sasuke is different. Although Uchiha Fugaku also has strict requirements on him, he is much more lenient than Itachi. At least Sasuke knew nothing about the dirty work going on inside. The greatest malice that the young master, who is well protected by his family, had ever witnessed was the hostility of the villagers towards Naruto. So Qing has already thought about how to talk to Sasuke about this matter. "Your family were unhappy and wanted to cause trouble for your father. And your father pretended to be sick before he could think of a reason to face the old men. Sasuke. He always felt that this person was fooling him." End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.